Ah! I woke up panicked. Crap! What time is it? Why did my alarm go off? These thoughts went through my head as I grabbed my cell phone off the nightstand. Goddamn son of a bitch! Clenching my fist and restraining myself from throwing my phone at the nearest solid object, I checked the outlet. Of course unplugged! I grabbed the cord and got out of bed, walking towards my desk. I plugged the phone in an outlet nearby and sat in my chair desk, opening up my laptop I sighed. I need an actual alarm clock. I can't rely on that piece of junk anymore. When my laptop booted up, I checked the time. 14:25! I set my alarm for 8! Jesus Christ! I pressed the power button on my phone. Dead but charging. Press it again. Dead but charging. Oh, I'm getting nowhere! I'm just gonna have to wait. Fury doesn't break up with me for forgetting her birthday until then. I shook my head. She wouldn't. Hell, knowing Yuri, she probably expects people to forget her birthday. But even then, I don't want her to expect that. I have a gift for her, along with a whole date planned. An important date! I pressed the power button. Finally! I scrolled through my notifications. Average stuff, but no text from Yuri. She probably didn't want to bother me. I chuckled. Even when it's a goddamn birthday. I ran a hand through my hair and clicked the phone application. I clicked on Yuri's contact and it rang. Hello? Hey Yuri! Sorry I'm calling you so late. My alarm didn't go off and I didn't exactly sleep very well last night. Who knew that setting up a huge day out between you and your girlfriend could be so stressful? But I just wanted to say happy birthday! Wait, what do you mean happy birthday? Did I... Hold on, it is my birthday, isn't it? She giggled. Oh, she was being coy. Thank you, John. I'm very happy that you remember. I don't think I would forgive myself if I didn't. We both laughed. Anyhow, I'll be ready for a good time. I have some stuff planned to see if you can get... So see if you can get here by 17. If you can, at least. You can, right? Oh, of course. I don't have anything planned today. Good. Because I do. Wonderful. She said, not a hint of sarcasm in her voice. Anyway, see you when you get here. I have some stuff I need to work on before then. I love you, babe. I love you too, hon. See ya. Farewell. I hung up the phone. Let's rock and roll. I stepped from my desk and reached under my bed. I felt around for a small box, and when I found it, I brought it out. It was a matte black rectangle-shaped container. I opened it up, checked the contents, and closed it again. Sweet. Now where's the wrapping paper? Damn, this show is really boring. Why do we still pay for cable? I sighed. Hurry up, Yuri. I want to go to the place already. Yuri! Ah! I sat still, turned to face the front door, and waited impatiently for Yuri to show up at the perfect time. Deus Ex Machina. Damn it. I returned my attention back to the television set. Still boring. And my phone is still charging, so I can't go use it. Why did I give myself such a... I hope you could hear that. I shut the TV and quickly stood up. Finally. I opened up the door and there she was. As beautiful as ever. Gonna stare at the face for a bit. Fully adjust how cute she looks. Done. She giggled and thanked me. But you're not as shabby yourself, you know? I blushed and smiled. Happy birthday, Yuri. I gave her a kiss and kept a smile. Would you like a present? You didn't have to get me anything. Nonsense. I hope she doesn't do that every time. I will continue to buy her gifts, and she has no say in that. I love you, so I got you something special. And I have a day planned out too. So get used to being spoiled today. Alright then. Let's see. See what? Oh, right! She giggled. I grabbed the present off the kitchen counter and walked back to Yuri. Here. It was wrapped in Christmas wrapping paper. Don't judge me, I didn't have birthday paper. Excited anyway, Yuri tore into the wrapping paper. Shook at the black container of curiosity. Upon opening up of the box, she smiled. You remembered I like knives. I sure did, but... Read the writing on it. Writing? What writing? She picked up the knife and searched around. It's on the blade, I whispered. Oh! She flipped the blade open and upon reading the inscription she smiled. John. She closed the blade, gave me a peck on the lips and hugged me. Tightly. Thank you, John. So you like it? I adore it. She kissed me on the ear and then pulled back. This gift really means a lot to me. Well, I'm glad. And hopefully, the other thing I've planned will mean just as much. Oh, I nodded. You'll like it, I promise. Though, would you like to go now or later? I'd rather go now, if that's okay. It's already 16, so I wish to get going before it gets dark. We don't have it here, but didn't we say something about 17? Or did I say 15? Sounds good. Now it is a little bit of a bus ride, but I promise it's going to be worth it. Plus, I'll actually be on the lookout this time, so... She sighed. Very well. I'm sorry, but I promise, cross my heart, you'll like it. I never said I wasn't so excited. I internally sighed in relief. Great. I waved Yuri out the door and felt my pockets. Wallet, keys... Oh, right! Sorry, I'll be right back. I walked upstairs and into my bedroom where I grabbed my phone off my desk. 60%. Not bad. I left my bedroom. Ready to rock and roll? Yuri nodded and we walked outside together. I'm glad you can appreciate the way he speaks. I locked the door behind us and we began our journey to the nearest bus stop, which was like 5 minutes away. So it wasn't too much of a journey, but the actual bus ride would be 45 minutes. I internally slapped myself in. After 8 years, I finally saw destination in the distance. I smiled. Hey, Yuri. I nodded my head towards the window. Upon noticing what I was doing, she took a curious glance out of it. John, is that... Sure is. You... What is it? She sniffled and her eyes turned glossy. You remembered. Places we wanted to go. Oh yeah, that I thought maybe they'd go. Carneval? I remember that was like with her parents at the carnival, and I was like, that means we can take her to the carnival. I've sure been doing that a lot recently. It's almost like I love you and care about the things you say. She laughed. I smiled wide. I loved her laugh. She leaned her head onto my shoulder and I kissed it. And kissed it. I love you. She whispered and giggled like a little girl. I love you too. And I hope you're excited. Of course I am. I haven't been there in so long. Okay. Carnival. Our destination? The carnival. Yes! I'm a genius! But what else could it have been? And for a moment I thought maybe some type of knife, like, exposition. Like a knife exhibition? You know, just something where you show a lot of knives. I've never seen one of these before. I don't know if they exist, but probably. Though we weren't there just yet. First we had to, well, get in. Which was as easy as walking up to the booth and paying, which I did. The kid at the ticket booth handed me a piece of paper and I looked over. This slip of paper grants access to any and all ride attractions. Not included game booths. Also included 1 free drink and meal at any food booth. Thank you for visiting! I had paid extra for a free meal. And this slip of paper was straightforward, yes, but... Isn't there usually a wristband or something? I asked. The response I received made sense. The guy that was supposed to order the wristbands didn't, so we had to rush to print these slips of paper. We weren't the only ones with the pieces of paper I was able to observe, though the man told us not to lose them because he couldn't spare any extras. Which is unfortunate, but it just means that we had to be careful. I folded my paper and put it in my pocket. You put hers in her purse. And we finally walked past the gate and into the carnival. Yay! That's some nice rides over there. A little looping. Oh, one of these things. I remember I used to love these. Now I like these ships where you get onto and it like goes overhead. Like it sways side to side until eventually it like goes like, and then you're like perfect explanation. I don't know what these rides are called even in your like German. Just these ships that eventually go in like a looping, something like a looping. Love these things. I also really like golfing. The sounds of screaming children filled my ears, and the scent of fright, though, was intoxicating. I grabbed Yuri's hand and began looking around like her mother. The rides, the vibe. Man, I haven't been here in ages. Neither have I. A man bumps into me and I'm nearly knocked out of my feet. I'm able to stabilize myself, but I suddenly notice how crowded it's becoming. Yuri's practically cutting off the blood flow to my hand. Hey, let's get away from the entrance. Good idea. We walked further into the park and the noise began to die down. Obviously, it was still loud, but everything had definitely calmed down significantly. Yuri's grip loosened. Seems she's still not a big fan of crowds. I squeezed her hand and gave her a kiss. What would you like to do first? Would you mind if we played some of the games? Like the ones with the fish or the ones with the rings and the bottles. My father used to always do those with me, and they were a lot of fun. I brought cash with me, right? Plus I hate the rides. Damn. We won't do any rides then. I say, hiding my disappointment. But sure, we can do some games. I mean, to be honest, I don't know what it's like when you're like only there and like as a couple, but when like I went with some friends there and like some of them are couples, these couples also sometimes did different things if there was like a bit of a difference between what they can handle, rides and stuff. The problem is that we're still together because there were friends who also did like the other thing then with the one part of the couple, so they were never like exactly alone. So I wonder if it would be strange to just ask Yuri, watch me go on that ride, babe! Take a photo as I scream! Or something, I don't know. I discreetly checked my wallet. We're good. Any catch your eye? The one over there looks interesting. She points to a nearby booth. Looked to be one where you had to shoot water guns at a target or something like that. Alright, let's do that one. We walked over and sat down at the booth. 300, betcha can't fill up that water balloon up before the time runs out. I don't know what voice that was, but whatever. The man at the booth pointed to a deflated water balloon above a target. If you can, you win a prize. How about it? This was a scam of some kind, I just knew it. But who cares? Sounds good. I said and handed him 1,000. Let's roll. Great. He handed me 400 yen back and pressed a button. Shortly after, a buzzer went off. Start shooting! I held on the trigger and watched as my stream of water hit the bullseye, which caused the balloon to start filling. Hey, this isn't too bad. I looked over at Yuri's balloon. Hers was, only around twice as big as mine. Suddenly a balloon popped. Both streams of water stopped and I was left confused. We have a winner! Oh! What would you like, girlie? You can pick anything from the second shelf and down. Oh, I'm not sure. How about that cute monkey? Sure thing! The man pulled a monkey off the shelf and then handed it to Yuri. She gave it a hug and turned to me. It reminds me of you. Ugh! The booth operator chuckled and gave me a pat on the shoulder. Your girlfriend is alright, son. Thanks. Don't mention it anyway. I'm gonna have to ask you guys to please move unless you would like to play again. The green in his eyes made me want to decline, but I turned back to Yuri. We're good, thanks. Then get out of here, you crazy kids! She shoot us off and we ran away, cackling. We slowed to a stop back near the entrance. It was a less crowded area than before, but it was the big hub area. Seemed like the right move to make this our home base. What next? I asked, and Yuri pointed to another game. We then walked over hand in hand. Me with my hand of a beautiful woman, and her with both hands on two separate monkeys. I chuckled at my own joke. Definitely cranberry. The next game was basketball. Get the ball in the hoop with win a prize. Easy enough, but I'm surprised Yuri wanted to do it. She didn't strike me as the type to play any kind of sport. But as soon as she scored a hoop, I felt my jaw drop. Holy crap! Those ones are rigged! They inflate the ball too much and they curve the rim. How the hell did you do that? I turned to her, my mind still blown. It's just about your power and mark. It's really not that impressive. Do it again? Huh? Please do it again. I handed Carney another 200 yen. She handed Yuri the ball and she shrugged. Oh, if it makes you that impressed. 2 in a row! She scored another one. One more shot and you can pick the biggest prize. I handed off another 200 yen and looked to Yuri expectantly. Alright. And we have another winner! 3 in a row! Congratulations, purple-haired girl! I mean, to be honest, that is something that people probably call her if there's like a naturally purple head. Yay! Yuri, you did it! What are you gonna get? Yuri put her finger to her chin. But you get me that big monkey. God damn it. You got it. The one I forgot her voice. You got it! Or something. The one grabbed down the large monkey with a big pinch claw stick thing. Ah, I know what you mean. Sounds like me when I was trying to explain that one overhead ride over the ship that goes like overhead and loops. Would you mind holding on to it for us, actually? I don't really want to walk around holding that thing all day. Sure can. Just make sure you don't forget it. Sounds good. We all nodded in unison. Shortly after, me and Yuri walked off to do something else. We played a few more games, but as nighttime neared, me and Yuri both felt hungry. Didn't your stomach rumble for a second time? I turned to face her. Hungry? She nodded, slightly embarrassed. Even at some goofy place like this, she still has to be ladylike. But I guess that's just one more thing to love about her. I smiled. Well, where do you want to go? It's all unhealthy, so just pick your poison. I chuckled. She looked around for a second until her eyes settled on something. She then pointed to a booth. That looks pretty good. Looking over, he inspected it. Seemed to sell a variety of different foods. Most notably, though, there were pastrami sandwiches. Good choice. Glad you think so. Like a cartoon character smelling a pie, I focused all of my nasal muscles on smelling the pastrami. Even though we were a ways away, I could still smell every bit of it. The intoxicating scent of meat was driving me crazy. I've got to eat that sandwich. We walked over to and stood in line. It wasn't too bad lengthwise, surprisingly. When it was our turn, we ordered our food. I, of course, got the pastrami sandwich. You ordered a cheeseburger with pastrami. Damn, that was probably the better choice. Oh well. I can always just steal a bite of it. I smiled deviously. We walked over to a nearby bench and sat down. As we ate, the sun slowly set. The carnival now was fully in the vibe zone. Night carnivals are way better than day carnivals. As we ate, I noticed how bright the lights were on one of those cyclone rides. You know the ones where it spins around in a circle and the floor drops out. Ah. What'd you say in the ride? I love those things. Even though they make me sick, my chair's about to collapse. Okay, I can still keep going. I do that all the time with even normal DDLC when I play in my free time. I sighed. Too bad Yuri doesn't like rides. I didn't blame her and I wasn't upset with her, not at all. But I was disappointed. Just express that you want to go on there. And she can take funny pictures of you as you scream. You wish to ride that ride, don't you? Or maybe you can actually offer to her. Maybe you can try. What if she does take an interest? I turned to Yuri. Sorry. I know you don't want to, so yes or no? Yes. Well then go ahead. She smiled. Are you sure? She nodded and gave me a kiss. I want you to have fun too. I can wait here. Good enough for me. I gave her a kiss myself and ran off to enjoy myself. Needed to go on a ride. Yuri watched as I ran off to get the line. Finishing up her food, she stood up to throw away the garbage. She grabbed the piece of paper she had sat on and held it in 2 fingers. You should have gone on the ride with him. At one point you should face your fears. Upon thinking this, she smiled confidently. She had the idea in her head. She threw the trash in a garbage can. As soon as he came back from that ride, they would go on a ride together. Not that one, though. Or that one. That one looks alright. Yeah, oh, but what if there are restrictions? Didn't that slip of paper have instructions on it? She should probably read those over again. She reached into her purse and began to dig around. Where is it? She put it in there, didn't she? Is it under the receipts? No. Oh, did she? She might have thrown it away. She turned and walked around and walked back into the trash. She walked into the trash can. She peeked inside, but didn't see any pieces of paper. She tried the one next to it. Still nothing. Maybe this just isn't the right trash can? She walked further away from the bench in search of another trash can. But either she kept missing them, or there was the last trash can in a 50-mile radius. Because after only a few minutes, she had gotten lost. She tried to find her way back, but none of the landmarks she had unconsciously remembered seemed to be taking her anywhere. She just kept walking in circles. She was losing her mind. Where on earth am I? Someone bumped into her. It's way more crowded over here. Another shoulder check. A baby started to cry. 2 kids ran next to her, laughing. What were they laughing at? Were they laughing at her? Another shoulder check. Something ringing? The crowd feels heavier. The air feels hot. I can't breathe. She can't breathe. Another shoulder check. The child is still crying. Suddenly, hit by a wave of nausea, she ran into a nearby portable toilet. Her head was pounding. It smelled terrible. Locking the door behind her, she fell to her knees and started to puke into the blue water. Here goes the free meal. She breathed heavily and began to dry heave. Her body continued to expel its bile, despite there not being any bile left to expel. She coughed thrice and then fell on her bottom, feeling the nausea gradually fade. But her heart was still in overdrive, and her head still felt like a jackhammer was ramming into it. She needed to calm down. Wait, not like that. She shakily exhaled. Never again like that. Just in 3 out 4. She violently coughed and felt acid in the back of her throat. She felt her eyes gloss over. No, don't cry, damn it. She wiped her eyes. Her hands began to shake. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't breathe! She pulled out her phone. Oh, what did he say? If you ever get close, tell me. And if I'm not nearby, call me. Text me. Anything. Oh. But basically makes sense to us, though. If you ever get close, tell me. And if I'm not nearby, call me. Text me. Anything. Hell, email me if you have to. I want to be there for you. I don't want you to suffer alone anymore. No more suffering alone. She pulled out her phone and tried her best to use it. Even if her hands were shaking like a blender full of rocks. She tapped my contact and put the phone to her ear. I stepped off the ride feeling intense nausea. I felt like I was going to puke my guts out, but it was so worth it. Those things are exhilarating. Though any amount of exhilaration is immediately dashed when you eat before getting on. I coughed, chuckled, and walked past a guy puking into a trash can. Poor guy. Suddenly, my phone began to ring. Who the hell? I pulled my phone and looked at the call ID. Oh, it's Yuri. I accepted the call and put the phone to my ear. Hello? John, I need... Please... Wait, what? Yuri, what's wrong? I got lost and I'm in a portable toilet and her voice cracked. I just cannot breathe. I feel so close. It's just... The line cut off. Yuri? Yuri, hey! Did she hang up? I looked at my phone screen. It was off. Raising an eyebrow, I pressed the power button. The no battery symbol felt like a punch in the gut. Yuri cried out. He hung up. She wailed and her tears flowed freely. He hung up! She began to bawl. What now? What was she to do? Did he hate her that much? That he would hang up on her? Even though he said he would be there. It was just a game to him, wasn't it? He was just stringing you along to mess with you. He planned this from the very beginning. She breathed heavier. No, he is not like that. She breathed harder. Gosh, can her heart just... Can it stop? She felt the urge to slam her fist into the ground. She couldn't control her breathing. She deeply inhaled and held her breath. He hung up on you. She let out her breath and shakily inhaled. Even after all of that, she continued to bawl. But she had to stop. She couldn't take it anymore. She needed to calm down. She snapped her fingers nervously and reached into her purse. She dug around for anything. Anything sharp. Just a small one. She muttered to herself over and over and over again. Damn it, where is her blade? Where's her pocket knife? She flexed her fingers. She would only do a small one. Practically unnoticeable, really. Just a small slice. Maybe only a little bit of bleeding. That's not so bad. After all, quitting cold turkey has never worked. Never. She kept digging around. Son of a... Hands touched the matte black container. She remembered what was in it and quickly pulled it out. She popped off the container, grabbed the knife, and flipped open the blade. John, with a heart. It's almost poetic. Poetically mocking, that is. She exhaled deeply, trying to clear her head. It was shaky, and the hot tears still rolled down her cheeks. Just a small one. He won't even know. Even if it did, though, he probably wouldn't care. She winced. She pulled back her sleeve and touched the blade to a clean spot. It was near her wrist vein. She never ever risked something like this. It was just going to be a small cut. She was not going to be cutting any veins. She took a deep breath and applied pressure. But she couldn't go through with it. She couldn't. Was she making the right choice here? Even if it was a small cut, she was still... He hung up. Maybe he's coming. He hung up. Yes, but... Almost against her will, she applied more pressure. It was starting to sting. It's just so unlike... Something slammed into the portable toilet. Everything rocked and she jumped, scared of her mind. She stood up quickly and dropped the knife, feeling immense pain. Liquid started to plonk down onto the plastic floor. Looking at the amount of blood, she felt herself get woozy again. No, that wasn't supposed to. She began to hyperventilate. No! She put her hand over her wrist and tried to apply pressure, but the bleeding wouldn't stop. It wouldn't stop. It wouldn't. This was bad. This was really bad. She let down a scream, turned around and grabbed the handle. She tried to open the door, but it wouldn't open. She pulled hard. It wasn't budging. What the hell? Somebody! She wriggled on the door handle. Her blood was getting all over it. She stained her sweater and her leggings. Somebody, please, the door! She pulled as hard as she could. Is it locked? Shaking like an epileptic. Even worse than before, she unlocked the plastic latch. She felt like an idiot, but this was not the time. She pulled. Still didn't budge. She was feeling woozy. She was going to pass out any minute from the blood. She pulled the door. Jiggled, pulled, jiggled. Son of a bitch! She pushed against it in anger, and the door went out flying open. She quickly lost her balance. She attempted to put her arms up to break her fall, but she felt too weak. She could only watch through her own eyes in abstract, empty horror as her head slammed into the concrete. Hey lady, are you... She wanted to say something. She wanted to say anything, but she didn't even know where she was. She had been trying to swallow her own tongue. She couldn't move. She could not even fathom speaking. Everything was just a blur of pain. Yuri! Yuri! Damn it, where is she? She needs me. She's about to fucking cut again! And here I am running around like a headless chicken. Yuri! Babe, where are you? I can't waste any time. I need to find her. Yuri, where? I was wheezing, completely out of breath. Even as I slowly got more in shape, one thing that never changed was the fact that I was not a good runner. But I didn't care. Yuri needed the fucking flash right now. Quick, tie this around her elbow, and I'll hold off the bleeding until the paramedics arrive. Whoa, what? Is someone hurt? Slowing down, I took notice of a bunch of people crowded around the porta potty. Who got hurt? Small thing in the back of my mind said that it was Yuri. I had been too late, but I didn't want to consider that. That was the worst case scenario. I need to check. I need to make sure. Hold her up above her head. I slowly made my way up to the front of the room. The crowd. Who got hurt? Upon seeing who it was, I felt my knees weaken. The person who had the big crowd. The injured person. The person bleeding out on the floor. The person was my girlfriend. still consider that to be the worst day of my life. What was supposed to be a good day had turned into a horrible one. The bright light that filled my heart had dimmed, and the days after the carnival felt like just one long nightmare. Did she die? I held a piece of paper in my hands. It was stained with tears, but I could still read it. John, I want you to have this. You seem to really like it, if your compliments were anything to go off of. So I hope you like it. Yuri. Yeah, the poem. I clenched my fists. Damn it. I wiped my eyes and walked up to a headstone. I looked at the epitaph. I couldn't make it out, but I chalked it up to my eyes being clogged by tears. The name was clear to see, though. Yuri. Her last name wasn't written, and frankly, that got me slightly pissed off. But I didn't have the energy to fuss. Set down some flowers and a copy of the poem that I wrote for the festival. I'm not sure if she liked it, but it was the thought that counted, right? I folded up Yuri's poem and put it in my pocket. Afterwards, I reached into my other pocket and pulled out a quarter. I set it on top of the stone, feeling the cold surface on my fingertips. The metal clink was the only sound heard for miles. It's a ghost town. I chuckled. I know. I'm an idiot. My smile faded. I just wish you could have had the courage to tell me that I was. Another tear. I'll miss you, babe. I kissed the air and closed my eyes. Everything went dark shortly after. My eyes slowly opened, something with "I'm sorry." The sterile scent and look of a hospital invaded my senses. Ugh. But thank God. I wiped my eyes. It was just a dream. I sighed and looked at the notebook I still held in my hand. There was the start of a poem there. Lost. I'm lost without your voice. I'm lost without your touch. I'm lost without your feeling. I'm lost. I tore out the page, crumbled it, and tossed it to a nearby trash can. I missed obviously, so I frowned and stood up. That may have been just a dream just then. But nothing else was. I really did find Yuri lying on the ground at that carnival. She really did nearly die. And worst of all, they won't let me see her. She's been terribly hurt, and I'm not sure how bad, and they won't even let me in. They say it's immediate family only. Bull. I am her immediate family. She's the love of my life. Surely that counts for something. But I can't put up a fight. I picked up the piece of paper and threw it away. I'm in a hospital. That's the exact wrong place to start flipping out. So I ask myself, what the hell am I supposed to do? Just sit around? Sit around jerking myself off while I wait to know whether or not my girlfriend has to have her arm amputated? Or how many surgeries she's going to be undergoing? I kicked my chair before I sat down. This is torture. The girls have all come to visit, but they all were stunned by the doctors too. Stunned? Shunned, of course. And while it was nice to have them here, they were all very loving and supportive. They eventually had to go home. They all have parents, so they all have curfews. But I promised I would tell them when we can visit Yuri. But all that Jack brings us back to square one. Killing time. Please, just give me some good news. Hey Yuri, I brought brought something you might like. I pulled out some tea packets from my backpack and 2 red Solo cups. We're going to have to drink it cold, but hopefully that's not too gross. Filled the cups of water from the sink, opened the packages, and put the bags in. I grabbed the plastic spoon and stirred it a bit. Sugar? I asked. When there'd nothing back, I sighed. What am I doing? I poured one of the cups and chucked both bags. I sat back down next to Yuri's bedside and took a sip from my gross tea water. I massaged my nose and pulled out another thing I had brought with me. 2 needles and some yarn. With a deep breath, I began to carefully knit. It was going to be a scarf. Something for Yuri to wear when she's fully recovered. To return the favor, I guess. For when she knit me the sweater. One that I rubbed the material on my sweater and my vision clouded up again. It felt like the millionth time in only a few days. I mean, come on. I rubbed my eyes fruitlessly. No more crying, damn it. I need to be strong. But I also needed to find a way to distract myself. The knitting needles and the tea were supposed to do that, but the tea is cold and I can't knit! I dropped the needles on the floor and held my head up in my hands. Afterwards I began to cry. Major head trauma, they said. Along with severe loss of blood. They said it in more scientific terms than that, but that was the general gist. The doctor said it was a miracle that she was able to get here in time. A minute more and she would have been toast. She needed a lot done and fast. The most recent one was nearly the 3rd surgery Yuri had undergone. But according to the doctor, it was the final one. She would be fine. But that wasn't why I was crying. I was crying because that should be me in there, damn it! I clenched my fist and practically wailed. I should be suffering, not you! Yeah, I felt terrible. I was happy to have heard the news of her living, but all it did was enforce more bad thoughts into my head. Her living, even by being called into question, was quite the reality check. This was a real problem, one that I couldn't solve, and I felt so helpless. I should have been able to solve it, but I couldn't, and I didn't. I should have charged my phone. I should have gotten a new one. Fuck, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm such a failure. You've been such a sweetheart. You've been so perfect to me. She was everything I had hoped for. She was the love of my life, plain and simple. Never once did I question the relationship we had. But how many times has she? Face it, John. You're a loser. You're not a knight in shining armor. You're not cool. You're not handsome. You're just some dumb kid. In an effort to make yourself cool, you replicate the hair of someone who is cool. But it doesn't work. Why would it? You can't put lipstick on a pig, as they say. Oh, you know what? I chuckled. You probably did what I did. It would be ironic. Sad but ironic. Sad but ironic. Yuri started dating me because she wanted a boyfriend. Is this how Monica feels? Sure feels terrible. I grabbed Yuri's hand. Cold. I love you. But you shouldn't love me back. I couldn't help you. I couldn't shoulder your burdens. What kind of boyfriend? Hello? Oh my gosh, Yuri! A female voice spoke and then rushed to Yuri, completely ignoring me. Excuse me? I asked and she turned to me. I am assuming her aunt? Oh. Who are you? Do you know Yuri? I'm her boyfriend. Are you her? No, I am not her mother. I'm just her aunt and legal guardian. But I'm told I have her eyes. She certainly did. I smiled briefly. She inhaled. Do you know when she's going to wake up? I heard what happened to her. Something about a suicide attempt? I winced. Oh gosh. She didn't try to kill herself. I know that. She wouldn't. Oh, thank goodness. But all I know is that she sustained a pretty bad cut to her left wrist artery, along with a pretty severe head injury. The doctors say it's a very low chance that she does need physical therapy. Sound like a robot. Oh, baby. She leaned over and gave Yuri a kiss on the forehead. I watched as the blue-haired woman inspected Yuri, from her scarred arms to her bandaged head. She sniffled. Oh, sorry. She spoke up, catching my attention. I see her like my daughter, you know. She wiped her eyes and turned to me. I mean, as soon as I hurt my knees, was in the hospital, I dropped everything in to catch a flight back here. I am horrifically jet-lagged, but that's beside the point. It's good that she has someone like you. Why is that? She told me about her parents. Oh, yes. Well, I'm glad she was close enough to you to tell you about that. I exhaled. Yeah, well, look where that got her. What? Don't worry about it. I looked down at my feet and massaged my forehead. Hey, kid. What? I was still looking at the floor. Don't beat yourself up. You couldn't have possibly known it was going to be like this. I looked back up at her. But something you do know is that she loves you. How would you know? She's probably just faking it. Are you serious? She never shuts up about you. My eyes widened. Oh, sorry. She loves you, okay? Just trust me on that. Alright. I'll trust you. You can just call me Yuka. Okay, Yuka-chan. She giggled. I don't think she's a chan. I think you're a chan compared to her. Although probably more of a kun. If yours had passed since then, the sun should be setting soon. Yuka left, saying she wanted to get some sleep after a long flight. She was going to be back tomorrow or something. That's okay. I would rather she stuck around, but she had to do what she had to do. Me? Well, my schedule is open, but even if it wasn't, I would still be here. I'm a last-minute kind of guy. I want to be here for Yuri, even if she isn't awake to see it. Apparently it's not a coma. Thank the Lord. But this resting period is taking too long. Much too long. I breathe through my nose, the high-pitched noise being a distraction from that incessant beeping. When are you going to wake up, babe? Nothing, huh? No sleeping beauty crap? Of course not. Why would that be the solution? I rubbed my forehead, just to know what to do. Part of me was scared that she wouldn't wake up. But that was ridiculous. She's just sleeping off the anesthesia. Right? Why then? Why is she still asleep? The doctor said it would take longer than normal for her to wake up. Some bullcrap with head trauma and severe loss of blood. She needs a lot of rest, they said. How much rest, huh? How much? My thoughts were interrupted by a voice over an intercom. Visiting hours for patients in the East Wing are going to be ending in 5 minutes. We will be opening the hours once again at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Thank you. I rubbed my eyes. I guess I have to come back tomorrow. I stood up and things began to feel fuzzy, like television static. I walked out of the elevator and into the hospital waiting room. Have a good day, sir. I waved to a brick wall. I walked into a payphone. I grabbed it once I saw it was about to fall over. I stood it back up and stared at it, waiting for it to be fully balanced. Okay, cool. I began walking once again, but stopped. I turned to face the phone. Where's the shot? I muttered and pulled out 2 coins. I put them in the machine and dialed the number I put to memory. Ringing. More ringing. Hello? Hey, Dad. Oh, John. What's up, kid? Hey, well, Dad, I trailed off as I thought over the events that took place not too long ago. You see, I gripped the phone tightly and my hands shook slightly. A tear ran down my face. Dad, I just... Yuri, she... Like I had a... Like a dam had burst. I began to cry to my father over the phone. Hey, buddy. His voice switched from a tired to concerned parent nearly instantly. What's wrong? Why are you crying? I just... I don't know what to do, Dad. What do you mean? My girlfriend, Yuri, she's in the hospital. Apparently she's sleeping off anesthesia, but it's taking way too long. Whoa. Slow down. Just start from the beginning, alright? Alright. He took a deep breath. I know it's probably not going to be easy, but I'm here. I'm here and I'm listening. And I love you. Don't forget that too. He chuckled, smiled and then sniffled. Thanks, Dad. So, what's this about a hospital? Well, Yuri got hurt. Badly. What happened? According to the doctors, she has major artery damage to her left wrist and severe head trauma. Or something like that. I can't remember every detail. Well, okay. Let's go one at a time. What happened to her head? Well, the witnesses say that she fell out of a portable toilet and onto some concrete. We were at a carnival and she what? I sniffled. She tried to call me, Dad. I said I would be there for her. She told me she was close. And I had my phone at... Wait, close to what? Close to cutting herself, Dad! I looked around. All attention was drawn to me. Sorry. I waved my hand and turned away. I didn't want to look at them. Excuse me? Cutting herself? Yuri. Damn it. Promise this stays between me and you. Cross my heart. Okay. Yuri, I love my voice. She suffers from some pretty serious self-harm tendencies. Whoa. That's pretty heavy, boy. Yeah, right. I snorted, but it hurt more than anything. So she. I'm guessing that's happened with her left wrist? I exhaled deeply. Yeah. The working theory is that she cut herself too deep in that bathroom, got weak and fell out, hitting her head. And to go back to what I said earlier, she tried to call me before she could. I said I would be there for her, and I wasn't. I just wasn't. You weren't there for her? When she was about to cut herself? Look, sometimes you can be a knucklehead, but that's unlike you. So what happened? Did she do it anyway, and you tried your best, but her issues were just as severe? Well, my phone, it died. My voice cracked. Your phone died? What, while you were talking to her? Or did you not get any kind of call because it was dead? It died while I was talking to her. Yeesh. Wait. Do you feel guilty about what happened? Of course! If I just charged my phone more, it wouldn't have happened. I had an alarm set, and I was supposed to wake up early, but I put my phone in a broken socket. I would have been able to charge more had I... You shut the hell up. My mouth shut up, right. Shut tight. You shut the hell up right now. Your phone died. And that's why you feel guilty. Because your phone died at an inopportune time. You round it back and blame it on you not charging it enough. How stupid can you be? What? No. I'm talking. Look, you can be a little ridiculous sometimes. But I think this takes the cake. Look, I know I'm your dad, and I shouldn't be saying that. But you needed to hear it. He irritably sighed. None of what happened is your fault. Okay? None of it. You're just a kid. You shouldn't have to deal with someone else's issues. Even if you love her, all of that self-harm stuff is for some doctor. Not for some... What? 15-year-old kid? 15? Dad, I'm almost 18. Oh. I know, Gooper. Which is why you need to learn that you're too old for this crap. Don't play the blame game. Talk to her. Get her some real help. If she doesn't want to, then you need to decide whether or not dating this girl is going to be fruitful. I would wish to stab people like that, sorry. You can love her, but a relationship is a two-way street. The fact that you felt all of that about her situation just shows how much you care. Well, how much does she care? A lot, I would hope. Well, you're just going to have to see it for yourself. I'm sure she loves you too. But you need to make sure you both love yourselves. You can't rely on other people all the time, you know? Yeah, I hear you. Do you get me? I get you. Do you need anything else? I thought this was over. No. I think I'm good. Smile softly. Good. I love you, boy. Love you too. Bye-bye. Bye. Put the phone back on the box, hanging up the call. I sighed, but smiled wider. Love you, Dad. I opened the door to Yuri's hospital room. It was the next day. She had moved slightly, and now had a book on her on her nightstand. Damn it. Damn it, damn it! She woke up early, already, and I wasn't here. Why do I... Don't play the blame game. I sighed again. I walked up to Yuri and slowly shook her awake. Hey, Yuri. Yuri. She slowly opened her eyes. She slowly stretched, but very clearly had a tough time moving her arm. Hello, John. Her voice drooped. Yuri? I am glad you're here. What the hell was that? Well, of course. I'm glad you're okay. I am sorry, it's probably so obvious, huh? What's so obvious? I sweat dropped. Well, according to the doctors, the part of my brain that's way to pronounce that apparently was, screwed up when I fell. Jeez, that took a lot out of you, didn't it? She nodded sadly. It's very unfortunate, but I am very thankful to be alive. So am I, Yuri. I'm so thankful you're okay. That thing, that's nothing. We can get you to speech therapy or some crap like that. I'm just so glad that you're not dead. And oh, we both said at the same time. I stopped talking. You first. I was hesitating. I held back. I'm too old for that crap. No, you. Okay. Look, John, I am so sorry. Huh? I mean, it was what I wanted to hear, but I still didn't expect it. I have just caused you so much trouble, and I didn't want it to end up like this. Well, I'm not sure anybody did, Yuri. But it's okay. It is not okay. It is not okay. Sorry for yelling, but I need you to know how genuinely sorry I is. It would have been funny had it not been said for devastating reasons. Please, I thought about it a whole lot while I was recovering. In between surgeries. I want to try therapy. And that's okay. Not speech therapy. Not physical therapy. Real therapy. John, She looked away. A tear rolled down her face. Seeing where this was going, I leaned in and wrapped my arms around her. She gladly reciprocated the gesture and began to cry into my shoulder. God knows she needed to. I don't want to cut anymore. I never want to do it ever again. And I want to really try. My shoulder was being soaked, but I didn't mind. Try the best that I know that I can give. I can't rely on only you to help, but to help fix these issues. The son of a bitch, this bitch. The penguin is ridiculous. But isn't that proof enough? It all just gone way too far. If you're sure, Yuri, I wrote her back. I'm assuming that's intended to be her. I am. I smiled softly and put my hand on her head. Finally, for once, I was the taller one. And also, I put you in a lip lock. A passionate one, might I add. That was nice, but this was even more so. And I felt content, knowing I was finally the one to initiate. But that wasn't the only thing that made me feel content. Of course not. Yuri was okay, and she wanted to get better. On her own will, she wanted to improve. She wanted to improve before she went to therapy, you dingus. I pulled away from her lips and laid my head on hers. I deeply inhaled. No coconut. Sad, but I'm proud of you, Yuri. And I'm so happy that you're okay.